Sven just said, in a war of gods, we are all casualties. And that is something that I appreciate about Honkai Star Rail. So something I've always loved when I, as you guys know, I like Greek gods, Egyptian gods, all that mythology. What's interesting to me is the idea that the gods do not play by our rules. You know what I mean? I think growing up when I had the one true God in Christianity and Catholicism, and what you grew up with, in modern times, I had a lot of confusion, why do these things happen? Why do bad things happen? Why, it's not a lot of answers, but the idea that the gods are playing by their own rules. We are just the casualties of the gods and their decisions and their information and their game of Sims, is so much more interesting to me. And I like in Star Rail, they have gods and they're like, yeah, the gods are just, they're doing their thing and they're looking around and they're messing with the universe. And what happens to us, they're not really 100% in it. As I'm doing these Greek mythology sketches, I'm starting to get deeper and deeper into the mythology. I started at the beginning with, the Kronos and Rhea and Gaia, and then the kids, and now Zeus and all his siblings are now in charge. Now they're having kids of their own. Now we're kind of getting into the era of humanity with heroes like Odysseus and Heracles and Jason. What's interesting about that is, as it focuses more on humanity and people, it's hard to look at the gods objectively and say, oh, they're invested. They are picking favorites. They are bored. They are living their own life. The favoritism they do or don't have to you at some point can't even be encapsulated by what you do for them. You know what I mean? Maybe you worship Hera and Zeus just had an affair and Hera's, pissed and now somebody's gonna die and it's not anyone's fault. I like that reasoning behind natural disasters, that reasoning behind bad things happening or someone not listening. You know what I mean? It's the idea that the gods in their way have their own flawed humanity. And I love in those ancient Norse gods, Greek gods, Egyptian gods, when there were multiple of them in these stories, how do we explain why this happened? Maybe two siblings got in a fight, maybe Ra blinked and that could be it, and it's just so incredibly interesting. And that, again, there aren't gods where it's just like that they're all good gods. There are gods of trickery, there are gods of chaos, there are gods of death, there are gods of love, there are gods, you know what I mean? And there are others gods of war, that they're all intertwining, and again we see Ares and Aphrodite. Why are they such a good pair, drawn to each other over countless time, over and over and over again? That is passion. Love and war is both passion. The difference of love is not hate. The difference of love is indifference. If I hate you, I still care about you. If you look at a lot of those gods, those two, what holds them of love and hate tend to be what? It's all the passion.